Welcome back to the FIxedOps Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Today we have the VisionAST panel. And Ted, a great assembly here with us today from Northwood University, Appletree Honda, and of course, VisionAST.
Yep. Sarah, you're so right. Very honored that Pete Carusone is with us from Vision AST, great friend of the Roundtable, and one of the Roundtable's finest retailers, Richard Lupo at Appletree Honda and Acura in Asheville, North Carolina, is with us. Welcome, Pete. Welcome, Richard. And from Northwood University, Marissa DiPonio is with us. And first of all, congratulations, Marissa. I see graduation has just happened at Northwood, and so happy that many of our peers, including yourself, are now moving on to the next level.
Yes,
Yay.
thank you. Thank you so much. So exciting.
Pete, you've got some exciting news for us as well. If you don't mind, share with the FIxedOps Roundtable family some of the things you're working on and how Richard is involved as well.
Yeah, so if I go back about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, we were contemplating what our next move was. Obviously, AI has come into every conversation you have, and how to apply it to the data we have. If you talk to anyone in the AI world, the dream is to have an agent that sits on top of a database. And of course, we have a robust database with all of our clients. So, as we looked at how we could incorporate some of those kind of tools, we also looked at all of the nice to haves that came from our clients and prospects over the years and decided it was time to start from scratch, a complete rewrite of the platform that we now call the Novella Intelligence Suite. And we're right at the tail end of the rewrite and relaunch coming up in the next few weeks. And we're so excited about it. I truly feel that it is setting the new standard for what reporting and analytics looks like, not only in the automotive space, but power sports, specialty, marine, RV, and reporting in general. I think we're setting the new bar.
Congratulations, that's outstanding. How's Richard been helping you, and how's that going along?
He's been helping me a tremendous amount. You know, when we first did our Reynolds and Reynolds integration on the service fixed ops side of things, Richard was instrumental in helping us purify the data, helped me in some other projects as well. So it was natural when we began the rewrite of our fixed ops platform on the new Novella platform that Rich is really in tune with what it takes to run a really solid ship, and his shop is just top notch. And of course, he offered to help, and he's been giving me the here's how I would do it, here's what I like to see, here's how I start my day. So we're accommodating and incorporating all of those kind of things. And he's there every single time I got a question, which is far too often, but he hasn't yelled at me or hung up on me yet.
I got Richard. Tell us how all this is working out.
Well, Pete's great to work with. Vision is a great platform and it's a great tool. And with the Novella suite coming online and the Cassandra AI component, I really feel that it's going to keep the top of mind stuff top of mind. And so we've been working together to kind of structure the fixed ops side uh, through lens that I look at it through, make it very relevant, very clean, and easy to understand, digest, not just for the fixed op people, but keep it relevant for the general manager, owners, executives to have that high overview look and keep it relevant for the people outside of fixed operations too.
Richard, I was going to ask you that. Is this something the dealer could look at as well and get a good idea of what's happening in fixed and know what to ask?
Yes, that's Pete and I talked about this pretty extensively, and it's a great tool. There are tons of great tools in our business, but they don't always tie together to keep it relevant. And so, in one of the instances we talk about is getting a wrap up text message that goes out to your GM, your EM, people that are involved at the higher levels in the business. Just a quick wrap up of, this is what the sales were today, this is what the profitability was today, how many cars we serviced, and then the following morning at a certain time, this is how many appointments we're looking at today. This is what our prospects look at today. And just a high overview, quick text as a wrap up in the evening and an intro in the morning, and maybe some insights, a couple of insights as to what they may go poking around and asking questions about.
All right, Marissa, we know you've been doing the homework on this, so I know you got some stuff to ask, and obviously, you've met Pete and Richard before out at NADA earlier this year.
Yes, so good to see you both again. And Pete, you've previously talked about the importance of retaining customers, and that's something we talk a lot about here at the FIxedOps Roundtable and in the automotive industry in general. And a question for the both of you, both Pete and Rich, is, how can better data and just understanding data in a deeper way, in a different way, benefit and improve retention for dealerships like you both just touched on, that it's not just for fixed operations, but for the dealership as a whole?
Yeah, I'll take a stab at that. It's really the better you know the history, the more you can accommodate a client, a customer, really be personalized with their experience with you in the past, their history overall, both in service and in sales, and to accommodate their needs and really understand what's important to them, the more likely they are to consider you their go-to dealer. And they feel like they're part of the family. And that all starts with a good set of data over the lifetime of their experience with your dealership.
Absolutely.
Richard, let's ask you same question, and why now? Why is this middle of 2026 such an important time in fixed operations as well?
Well, when you have the uh, robust AI laying over that data set that you have, you can go in and see a customer that maybe has 80,000 miles on their car and it's been servicing with you regular. Um, but you may have never sold them tires, and obviously they've bought tires multiple times over the lifespan of that car, and that's an inference, an opportunity that can be fleshed out by the AI, and it's a conversation topic that your advisor can have. Notice that we never have. You buy your air filters and your oil filters, and we put the brakes on the car and do all those things, but there, reason that we can't seem to come together with tires for you. So there are those opportunities that sitting over that data set that it can comb over it and flesh out those opportunities. So I think that that's one of the things on the ground level, the advisor to the customer level, that if you can put those insights in front of an advisor, is going to create more opportunities for incremental sales.
And Richard, why now? Why the focus on fixed ops now? Why is that so important?
Uh, we could do 10 panels on that, but uh, you know, the profitability in new cars obviously is not what it used to be, and fixed operations has always been here, and bringing that stability, retaining those customers for brand and dealer loyalty retention is key to when they're at the end of that life cycle, keeping them with the brand and with the dealer. Huge to keep the brand and the dealer relevant going forward. And fixed operations is the route, the roadmap to keeping that customer retained. So in the very highest level, retaining and those customers is the first thing, and then it's a reliable profit center that's going to pay the bills and take care of all of the stuff, so that it makes it easier to make less profit when you sell that new car. So that's that. So the emphasis on fixed started probably 10, 12 years ago, and it's just increased over the years. And now the general manager that once told me that I wouldn't have a service department if it wasn't absolutely necessary. That's the only thing that GM thinks about every day when he wakes up is fixed ops now. So it's become full circle.
Such an exciting opportunity, Ted, for fixed operations. And Pete, just to summarize, because one of the things that Ted and I have had a lot of conversations across the industry about has been really, incentivizing behaviors, incentivizing and really creating ways that service advisors can better impact their customer experience. And I understand that Cassandra sits atop a dealer's data and can help with building custom reports, help with projections, and even individualized pay plans to drive behaviors and performance. I'd just love to hear a little bit more about the development of Cassandra and what inspired this.
Well, it was really the idea that, well, it started with, geez, we need to incorporate AI, right? And I really was struggling to find an application that wasn't just what everyone else is talking about, but a real practical use. So we started with some basic things behind the scenes to on the variable app side. We have all these F&I products that need to be categorized, and it's very labor intensive on our side. So we built the first rendition of or iteration of Cassandra to help categorize all those products on the F&I side and create really clean, easy to read reports. And as we were doing that, we were obviously teaching her the business. So the next thing that came along was starting to ask her questions and make, for example, project for me what a 5% increase in effective labor rate will do in the next 6 months. And she started asking questions back, if you can believe it. And she would say, would you like me to create a pay plan that would help drive that behavior? And ask questions on the information she would need from us to really spit out a usable plan. And then she would go right down each service advisor, for example, and break out what each advisor would need to do and what that improvement meant for their particular role in the dealership to drive that overall desired result. And while you were doing all those things, she's learning, and we just teach her and we just talk to her. And what comes back is just a remarkable ability to not only generate custom reports. You don't need to go in the platform and see the reports that we've decided you're going to look at. You can tell her what kind of report you want and what you want the format to be. You can ask her how to project what a 10% lift does for the dealership as a whole over the next 12 months, and what areas within the variable and fixed operations need the most attention. So when we say a 10% lift, that might mean 20% in a certain area and just stay what you're doing in another area, and which individuals in the dealership need to focus. Then we moved on to, would you like me to put a pay plan together that would drive that behavior? And she does. And then you can do what if scenarios. Okay, what if we changed the cap on what we're willing to pay to this, then how do we do it? Or as an example, some what ifs within the reality of the dealership that you're working in. And she puts it together. And as everyone probably knows at this point, that's a 30-second exercise where ask anyone in Rich's shoes, putting together a pay plan is probably right up there with a root canal in terms of things you like to do. And it's easy, it's comprehensive, and she'll even tell you some things that you might want to watch out for before you roll it out.
Marissa, this has to be an exciting time because I know at Northwood you're working with a lot of AI, and Northwood's all about practical application, how a lot of these things apply to the real world. And to hear Pete and Richard talking about how they can use some of this data and now create all these things, it's got to be very innovative.
100%. And just like you said, Ted, Northwood is all about, what's next, innovation, the future, and obviously automotive as well. So to hear these conversations and what we're hearing in the classroom and on campus is also what's happening in the industry. And you have to be ready to move forward to be able to participate in what's coming. And for the sake of that, and also just for, efficiency, just like you mentioned, to be able to do something in 30 seconds versus, what you would compare to a root canal, that could be so true. And there's so many situations where AI can become implemented in that, but to have your own data to truly understand so much more about your own business is an unbelievable opportunity. So very exciting. So cool.
And Richard, you're going to have a leg up on other fixed operations directors. Sarah and I spent some time with you. We visited you at Appletree a little while back, but you're
Mhm.
using the latest and greatest that's going to apply to fixed operations with AI from Pete Carusone, Vision AST, and that's going to put you ahead of the pack.
Well, we are the little engine that could, I guess. We've got 3 rooftops here and got a lot of big boys in our backyard, and we have to consistently punch above our weight class. And so, one of the strategies to do that is to stay on the leading edge of technology and partner with people like Pete that are trying to push it forward. And we could stay on par and realize, identify the gaps and realize those opportunities, then it helps us, stay competitive with, some of the bigger groups and attract talent. That's the name of the game, is attracting talent. And,
Yeah.
when they come here and they see that we are innovative just as much, if not more, than some of those bigger groups, it not only attracts the vets, but also some of the crowd that is looking for progressive leadership.
Pete,
And can't say enough about it.
Pete, it's so exciting to hear all of this innovation that Vision AST is really pioneering, and all of the new developments with the Novella reporting suite and Cassandra. For our dealer audience today that wants to learn more, maybe raise their hand to find out more information and get started, what's the best first step?
Well, we have a ton of information on our website, visionast.com. There's a lot of white papers and blog posts there. There's a teaser of what's coming with the Novella Intelligence Suite and all that you can expect. And from there, it's easy to contact us, and we'll hop on a call and go through specific needs or challenges that you're facing as a dealer, and how one or all of our tools may be able to help.
Pete,
Exciting.
very excited for you and for the industry to be able to use this new technology.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right. On behalf of the roundtable, I want to thank Richard Lupo, our great friend from Appletree Honda and Acura, for helping to pioneer this. Richard, thank you so much. As always, you're always on the cutting edge. Marissa DiPonio at Northwood University, thank you. Tremendous insights. And Pete, boy, oh boy, here we go. All right, fixed
Here we go.
operations, AI, and data. You got it all. You got it all together, Pete. You got the whole package now. By the way, we're in the middle of May? Is it ready today? Can I get it like tomorrow? When is it out?
It's ready to be demoed today. By the time we sign you up, it's ready to go. We're weeks away, and it's performing famously, and it's just a wonderful tool. Very proud of the whole team, proud of the development crew. It's buttoned up pretty tight, and we don't do anything until we're 100% confident it's ready. And we are 2-3 weeks away and ready to go.
All right, sir.
Exciting opportunities, Ted. And as always, Vision AST is really setting the cutting edge for our dealers that are looking to have a better solution.
For more information, everybody, you can reach out to visionast.com on the web. You see Pete's email scrolling. You see the 518 area code phone number as well. And Pete is super active on social media. Pete, thank you again for the industry, for all that you're doing for fixed operations.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Everybody, Vision AST here with us today at the FIxedOps Roundtable.